Hey, thanks for clicking on and coming to the Ultimate Life Hack Guide to getting your side hustle on. And I just wanted to share a couple of things with you about the direct selling industry because if you read the financial hacks, you realize that a lot of it has to do with saving and is based on the income that you're already making. And what we're realizing is, look, you could take some money and put it into a savings account and get some interest. You could try to put together a pool of money, get a couple of $1,000s in and get into the mutual fund game. You could try to day trade. And, I think some of those are risky because one, it's out of your hands. Two, there's an art to certain types of investing and there's certain minimums that you're going to need to get any kind of decent return. Normally you'd say that $10,000 is really a good starting point, and a lot of people don't have $10,000. So what do you do? What do you do in today's economy? Well, if you think about the popularity of Airbnb and Uber and Lyft, people are actually using their cars to drive people around. They're working, getting their side hustle on. I mean, gee, for me, the average Uber ride is anywhere from $8 to $15, and out of that, Uber takes a share, and it seems like it's a great way because it's on demand and you can instantly earn money, but you're using your car and you have wear and tear and you have people in the car, and I think it's a great idea, but I think there are better ways, and I feel that the direct selling industry for the right people, the direct selling industry or MLM or network marketing is a tremendous, tremendous way to earn serious income. Now, uh, in full disclosure, I am a network marketer. I happen to have reached the top level in a network marketing company that I found that works for me. It was a relatively new company, so there was a lot of runway for us to take off, right? It wasn't a big established company that has a lot of a lot of followers already or a lot of distributors, millions of distributors, but yet there's a little bit of risk to that because with a new company, we know that new companies can fail a lot easier than some of the bigger, well-established companies. So you got to take the good with the bad. But think of it as investing, the difference between an accelerated growth fund or one of those safer investment mutual funds, right? You could have high risk investing or lower risk. And what do we get? Lower risk, lower return, higher risk, greater return. But we're not talking about throwing away millions of dollars here, guys. We're talking about a couple $100. And that is the challenge with direct selling. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. I don't want to keep this thing too long, but let's move forward. So, what is direct selling and why do I like it so much? Well, look, let's face it. Any transaction where one person gives another, eBay, even on Craigslist, people do it. They clean out the garage to make extra money and free up cash, right? Well, what direct sales is the process of selling products face to face, versus. Now, by the way, I want to preface that because face to face doesn't necessarily always mean physically. It can mean through social media. It can mean, through internet sales. And a lot of network marketing companies, they give you a website and you could drive traffic. But that has its own problems to it because either you're going to be building friends face to face or meeting new people face to face, or you're going to try to meet them on social media. So either way, it's really an interaction between two people versus this anonymous transaction like going on Amazon. Most of us buy things on Amazon like an Apple product and it says buy Apple, and you're really just buying it from another reseller. Now, Forbes magazine is very pro network marketing or very pro direct sales when it's the right company. So, right company, the right product or service. And let's talk about product or service. You could either sell a physical product like clothing or health and wellness products, hair gel, or you could do services like financial services. There's companies that do credit repair. There are companies who do investing services. There are companies who do insurance that are in the network marketing business. And the biggest thing is you're your own boss. And I want to stress that I know that sounds exciting for a lot of people. But realize something. You are your own boss. That means you tell yourself when you need to go to work, how long you're going to work, how many hours you're going to put in. And we all have that internal drive that gets us to make our living. And many of us don't even realize that because it's a cause and effect. What's the cause? The cause is you go into work and you put so many hours in, and the effect is you get a paycheck at the end of the week. Well, it's not that way with network marketing or direct sales, right? If you don't motivate yourself to get going, or come home from work and it's been a long day and you know you should put an hour in or so into your network marketing business and you don't do it, or you make a phone call and somebody hangs up on you and says, no, I'm not interested, and all of a sudden we get discouraged. And that's what you need to go up against. Here's the thing I will tell people. What do you expect people to respond to when you hit them up cold and talk to them about network marketing or your network marketing business? You have to understand, what is the number one reaction people have when they walk into a store. They know they're looking for something specific. Let's say you're going to a wedding and you're a guy and you got to buy a new white shirt for your suit, or you're a woman and you need to buy a new dress for a wedding. Now you're walking in and a salesperson comes over to you and asks you, may I help you? And your response is, no thanks, just looking. No, you're more than looking. You're there to buy that shirt or that dress, but it's just a normal reaction. Understanding that and understanding the psychology that goes through will help you so much for direct sales. It's not for everyone, but I don't want to hear that, oh, well, I can't sell. I also don't want to hear that the people who can't sell are going to rely on social media marketing and think that's going to bring them tremendous amounts of business. You're going to have to talk to someone sometime, somewhere, especially if you want to build direct sales. We'll get into how that works and how that gets built, because you're going to need additional distributors to kind of grow your business with you. One of the things you realize is J. Paul Getty said, I'd rather have the 1% of 100 men's efforts than 100% of a single man's efforts. And that's exactly what network marketing is, and it's residual income. Once you build this team, and that team is motivated to keep going by plugging into what direct sales companies offer as far as training and motivation and new products and services on a regular basis, that's what's going to create that income for you, is building that team. Now, many direct sales companies also have a retail component. That's one of the things I stress that you look for in a network marketing company, is what is the retail aspect? Would people be buying this product at that price and for what it does through an alternative means? Meaning that, would I be a customer of the product that you're selling through your network marketing business, or a user of the service that you're providing, irregardless of how it was sold? That's the common denominator. If you can walk down to Walmart and get a similar product, and I'm sure there's nuances, guys, so I know the people that have products that are sold in Walmart, it's not the same, it's better, it's, you have the better scientists. I get all of that. But on the other hand, there are people who are bargain hunters, and you have to realize that you want to give yourself the best possible opportunity for success. You don't want to go into a crowded space, especially when you're competing against Walmart. Who are you to think you're going to compete against Walmart in their pricing? So you want to be able to express the benefits of the product or service that you're providing, and it has to be unique. It's just going to make your life so much easier. We all hear the stories of people who have a closet full of product from a network marketing company. They didn't do anything with it, but something went wrong. Because here's the thing, I don't care what network marketing company you go with, even if it's a scam, and there are some scams out there, we're going to talk about that. There are people making tons and tons, if not millions of dollars in that business. So something went right for someone somewhere. And yes, you could get in early and you could do all of that nonsense, but there are still people in every company that no matter when they start, they have the motivation and the time and the opportunity and a little bit of luck, I will say, but we create our own luck that will do well in the direct sales business. No different than if you went to work tomorrow and got a new job selling a car. Now, how does a person with no sales skills compete and or exceed in network marketing? By getting comfortable with themselves and realize, if you've ever recommended a movie, if you've ever recommended a restaurant, if you've ever feel passionate about something, you'd be surprised where that can come from. The belief is the biggest thing, and that will help you sell. So try to find, if you're not a salesperson, but you like the idea of network marketing, or you even want to use it as a motivator for yourself, where you're going to basically create some internal change and get rid of some limiting beliefs, direct sales is a great place to do it. The personal development that's necessary to be successful in direct sales is great for the rest of your life. You'll learn so much. Okay, so what do you need to know? Well, listen, one of the most popular questions I get asked about the part-time income or the side hustle is, can I really earn a living, working in direct sales? And the answer is absolutely yes. But I want you to be careful. I don't want anybody to go out, buy a kit from their friend or whatever acquaintance they have, or do some research online, or you could even call me. I mean, I'm glad to share with you what I do. But and think that tomorrow you're going to go out and within 30 days you're going to replace your income. No, but there are success stories of people in 60, 90, 120 days already generating a serious income, or something that rivals, let's say, a part-time opportunity. And I'm not talking about a minimum wage opportunity. I'm talking about a reasonable part-time opportunity. Now, as far as minimum wage, yes, if you put your head down, you go through the training and you do what's necessary, meaning contacting people and exposing them to the product or service, and having a conversation with them and finding people who are looking. If you're going to find people who are not looking, well, then your job is going to be that much harder. So it's a great question, and I don't want to answer it right now. I just want you to tell you that there's no get rich quick, but you can work quickly to get rich. That's really, really something. It's a $30 billion industry, and there's everything from gourmet food and financial products, and there's clothing lines. I mean, there's just so much. You could find out what really works for you. And basically, what you're doing is you're making it easy for people. The world of Uber and Amazon and all of these type of companies where people are used to alternative means, I truly think that direct selling has come into its own. So look, there's a few pluses with this thing. Anybody can enter the field. You set your own hours. You could take time off to travel. As our business is being built, we have thousands of people in our network marketing business, and we've started less than a year ago. By the way, this is my first entree into network marketing, and I know that I will never not do it again. It's a matter of just finding the right product and putting your head down and going to work. But if you're going to visit with grandkids, and we're looking forward to that. My daughter is pregnant with our first grandchild. We're really excited, and I know that I work from home or I work from my phone. People talk about home-based businesses. I love the fact that it's a phone-based business. I text people, I call people, I send them videos from my phone. And I could build this business from anywhere. So, look, it's a job that you can even do in retirement. So many people have not put away retirement money, and it's frightening for some of them. Well, you could generate an income of anywhere from a couple $100 a week to a couple of $1,000 a week or more in the network marketing business if you work on your personality skills. So look, there are phonies, there are BS in this business. So before answering the how much you can earn question, I want you to understand some of the language in the direct selling industry, and I want you to be able to start asking questions so you could learn between legitimate firms and phonies. Look, there has to be real products or real services that people want to buy. And look, if your network marketing company is doing about $100 million a year or more, it's fairly safe to say that they're consistent. You will know that most of the hype and most of the negative impact that network marketing has does not come from the companies. It comes from the distributors, because it's very hard to control a workforce that you don't necessarily control, right? We all talk about being an independent business owner in network marketing, and you got to be in your own business, and you're not a representative of the company. Well, that means you could say whatever you want. There's all different types of personality types. In fact, when you're evaluating a network marketing company, go to what you could find that from legitimate sources like government agencies or places like that. Don't necessarily go to some guy on Google who's going to try to trash this one company or another, and chances are he's in a competing company or he was not successful in that. What you really want to look for, are there any major violations from this company? What have they done? And if they did do something that was considered in the gray area, that they've made changes. So if a company is constantly making changes to their plan or changes to their operating or how they deal with distributors, and it seems to be moving in the positive direction, that's right. Nobody starts off being perfect. You strive and you go towards that direction. Every single network marketing company out there at one time or another has had an issue where they had to change policy or correct or reel in their distributors. Every single one of them. So don't listen to what the people are saying. Listen to what the agencies are saying, the regulatory agencies or the attorney generals of cities and states and the federal government. So listen, it's also known, some of the buzzwords are multi-level marketing or network marketing or direct sales. And some companies do that because MLM has a negative connotation. Well, let me tell you why MLM has a negative connotation. And by the way, it's not a pyramid scheme. Pyramid schemes are literally when you have one person who tells two to give me $1,000 each, and then those two go out and find two more people each and bring in 1,000, and they all start splitting the money, and it comes into this tier, and nothing is really ever sold. Or some of them that think they're smart are have a really cheap product or an agreement or a contract or something on paper, that constitutes a product, so they can kind of hide behind that, but it's really just money sharing, and somebody at the bottom is going to get hurt. You really want real transactions that you get paid on when there are sales. Now, you can accumulate people beneath you. This is what we're going to talk about. So many, where the term really comes from, is in order for that to work, just like the federal government, there's a president and then there's a vice president and then all the cabinet members, and this starts to work itself into the shape of a pyramid when it comes down to the general public, and we all pay our taxes and pass it up. Now, you could try to get negative on that too, but let's try to stay in a positive mindset and talk about the company where you work, and there's a president and there's regional vice presidents and so on and so forth, and the efforts of the many, benefit those, the few. And yes, if you get in network marketing early, or you start building early, the pyramid always starts with you in network marketing. You're part of a smaller pyramid inside a larger pyramid unless you get in, the first person when that network marketing company opens up, and that's a very, very tough spot to get, especially if you don't have experience. So what I will tell you is this: think about network marketing as you as the top of the pyramid, and then go to work. If you're worried about what what is in somebody else's pocket, you would never be happy with what is in your own, because you will never, ever be happy if you just worry about what everybody else has. Now, you could appreciate that, and you want to hang out with those people, especially in network marketing. Surround yourself with the top producers in your company, but it is not a pyramid scheme when it is a legitimate company. MLM. So multi-level marketing means that you're going to come in and you sponsor usually two, and you sponsor your first two, and then they sponsor two, and then those people sponsor two, and you realize all these little pyramids start forming beneath you. Well, you're going to share in that volume of all that product that is sold in that team, right? You're building a team, your team is building a team, and from your point down, you're eligible to tap into your efforts and a combination of the efforts that are done by everyone there. Now, this varies from company to company. There are things called binary compensation plans, which some people like and dislike, and there are plans called unilevel plans or tiered plans that some people love and dislike. Here's the biggest thing. If you have a product that doesn't have staying power, meaning people are not going to buy that product month after month, a binary is challenging for some people, when a unilevel may be a little bit better. But I will tell you this: look for a hybrid plan that has a little bit of both, that it has a binary build concept to it, and as well as unilevel, or what's called check match. Your distributor that sponsors you will, tell you what that means. When you look into pay plans, you want to have that combination, because normally a binary will pay you some money quickly. It's an easier or faster start to income, but over the long term, the unilevel or the check match will be where the most of the money is made. So understand some of these terms. Don't try to be an expert. Let them explain the pay plan to you first, and then you have questions. And trust me, you will be confused when you first look at a pay plan. In the network marketing business, I consider myself a fairly intelligent guy. I'm good with numbers, and it was very confusing to me. It doesn't mean it's a scam. It means you just need more time to understand how it works in a complex commission structure. So many multi-level marketing companies offer their reps like free trips and bonuses and special prizes. We all know about the Mary Kay Cadillac and all these other like BMW bonus programs. Here's what I will tell you. It's great because it's a sign of status. It means you've reached a certain level in the company. Here's my recommendation. Don't buy the car until you are sure that you are building this business solidly. I don't want you to get stuck with a car payment because most companies will give you the money and you buy the car. That means that lease is in your name. So figure out the best time to do that. Just don't go ahead and do it, because if something changes in your life, or there's something going on that you cannot consistently make that rank, you'll be stuck with this car. And I don't necessarily like that until you know this is what you want to do. The car is great, but the payments will get to you if you're not getting that income from the company. Now, legitimate MLMs charge a small fee for a starter kit. The one I'm in is $59. Doesn't come with any product. You can go to work right away. You're not bound to anything. And many of them are around $99 is usually the average. And then also make sure the company allows you to return product. It should be 100% money back guarantee on used and unused portions of the product, and you should be able to cancel a service after 30 days. So make sure that you have that. You're not locked into something, because if the company truly believes in its product or service, you should be able to cancel at any time. They shouldn't need to lock you in. So, this is where, some of the things can get unscrupulous, or where the pyramid scheme comes in because you have to buy product. Don't get into anything where you must buy product. If you have the opportunity to be able to sell product and that qualifies you instead of buying the product yourself, that's what you're looking for. All right. So, I can get a little bit more, but on the pyramid scheme thing, but I know you're thinking it. You have to get over it and truly understand what's going on, that there's work involved, and it's not a pyramid scheme just because you didn't make money, but it is a pyramid scheme if you gave money in, for the purpose of you trying to find other people to bring money in. So they are cracking down. The Federal Trade Commission is the company who regulates this. There have been a few that have gotten in trouble. There was a big company that did a TV, like a satellite TV kind of program and everything. They got in big trouble. So this is a regulated industry, I will tell you. So don't go by what some guy on Google is saying. It is the biggest source of artificial intelligence I've ever seen is Google. People Google things, they read a single article, and 90% of them are somebody selling something else, especially when they're trashing someone. So here's another thing. How much money does the average person make? Well, the average person makes anywhere from $4,000 to $7,000 per year in network marketing. Now, are there people making more? Yes. Can you make multiple six figures income to seven-figure income? Yes. I mean, we can talk one-on-one. I don't make income claims, but you can. This is a serious business when it's done correctly. But if you put in a little bit of time, you're going to make a little bit of money. If you put in a lot of time, you can make a lot of money. Some people may not make anything, and it really has to do with your ability to express yourself. Even though I think some of the figure of like $3,000 or $4,000 sounds low, you got to realize that like almost 91% of direct sellers do this very, very part time, or they'll get one negative response and then won't sell for a couple of weeks, and then their other friend will say, "Hey, whatever happened to that thing you were doing?" "Oh yeah, great," and they start talking about it again. And that's just why I talk about mindset being so important. Now, some people go into direct sales because they want to buy their favorite products at a discount. So, and they have a little fun meeting with people and doing parties and everything else like that. So there are people in the network marketing business who buy it for the discount. They become a distributor to get the product cheaper. So that brings the overall numbers down. And we all know about the 80-20 rule, right? But if you want to make serious money through direct sales, you need to make a sustained effort. I started out with 15 minutes every morning, 15 minutes at night, and I slowly increased that as the return was coming in. I didn't quit my job or, sell my company, my other company, just to do this. I fit it into my schedule. I made the time. There's no formula for determining how many hours you got to commit to it. It really is subjective to what's going on. There are times where you do a little bit of work and get a lot of effort, and the time you're going to put out a lot of effort, like with marketing on social media, and then you don't think it's coming back. Trust me, think like a farmer, not a hunter. You don't want to shoot to kill. You want to plant seeds to grow. So we talked a little bit about what you could earn. We know it's not a pyramid scheme. So let's go to the 4 tips and the 4 simple steps that we have in network marketing. So 1, keep in mind, direct sales involves selling. I know it's obvious, but it's true. A lot of people don't realize that. And a lot of people want to hide behind and post an ad on Facebook and think people are going to buy. People hate to be sold, so don't be sleazy. People hate commercials, right? So people fast forward through commercials. What makes you think posting this ad on Facebook is automatically going to make them buy it from you when there's thousands of other people selling the same products, right? So what you need to do is realize one thing. I have a product that has a very, very high retention rate. It was very unique, and that's why I got into it. I'm not plugging it. I'm just trying to tell you that's what made my decision. I realized that the people bought it the second time because it worked the first time, and that's what you need to know. You need to have something that takes a little bit of the pressure off of you to make sure that it's a very substantial product or service that people want on a regular basis, and they can't necessarily get anywhere else. Another thing is that if you don't think you could sell or don't want to sell or you're afraid of people, well, then this may not be for you. If you want to get out of your shell, it is a great thing for you. If you want to devote that with listen to Tony Robbins and listen to Jim Rohn and all of these personal development people that can help you. It can literally change your life. It could change things for you, meeting new people. So we talked about that it is selling. I want to make sure so if you're shy and you feel uneasy about asking your friends or family to purchase product, or you don't want to have one-on-one meetings with people, even if it's over the phone, you could tap into your sponsor, the person who brought you in, and ask them for help. Do what they call the 3-way call. Right? So you get your person to say, hey, man, I just got started with this business and my sponsor is going to talk to us about it. I love it. I hope you will too. And do it as an exploratory thing. So the next thing is, if you know you got to sell and you're ready to sell, then you got to look for the right company. So select one that offers quality products, something you can get excited about, selling. It has to have a really good reputation, maybe good testimonials, or maybe it has, some good historical reviews, or people just love the products, right? I mean, Avon has a product called, I don't sell Avon, but Avon has a product called Skin So Soft, and it keeps bugs away, and it's a skin softener and all this other stuff. Tremendous product that people love for some reason, right? So be sure it has a good reputation. Make sure they have good training, either by the person who sponsored you or the company itself, because remember, the person who sponsors you could one day just decide to leave or move. So you want to make sure that there's people around you. And then also the compensation plan. It's got to be fair. It shouldn't be that you sell one bottle of product for $25 and you make $1,000. I mean, that's just unrealistic. But if you're selling something for $25 and you're making a few bucks and you keep moving on and it's fair, that's it. You don't want it to be that you don't qualify because an elephant, walking with a pink umbrella on a Wednesday didn't pass by in front of you during a rainstorm, therefore you don't qualify. It has to be a fair compensation plan. Look, go to the company's website, get a copy of the compensation plan. If they're not willing to give it to you, then now listen, I think you need to sit through the presentation. I think you need to let your sponsor or the person who's introducing you to that company go through their presentation, because you're going to need to either give that presentation or understand what people are going to see. So experience that, but after that, take a copy of the compensation plan to make sure you compare it and make sure you not have to work extra hard to make that money. Do an internet search. Look at some of the bad reviews on Google and see if it's done by the competitors or people who are just trying to bring one company down because they're with a competing company. It's okay to see that. You're smart enough to know, when somebody's running that type of marketing, or are there legitimate concerns. But you have to really take everything with a grain of salt, because if you read one side of the story. And if you tap into the Ultimate Life Hack and listen to some of my other webinars, you will talk about the Ford Chevy syndrome, where people think they have information, but they have to regard where the source was, before you give it any credibility. So then what you want you to do is read the fine print. So the number 3 thing, number 1 is you do have to sell. I want you to know that. Number 2, you have to find the right company with the right products or services. And number 3, read the fine print. Go through the agreement. Go through the starter kit. What comes with it. Go through all of that. Be sure you go through that compensation plan along with the price of the product and realize how many products or how many people you need to bring into business to make the type of income you are looking for. And also, here's what I will tell you, and this is more subjective, but you need to have a why. You need to have a reason. And everybody and every network marketing company, and this is what turns some people off. They'll put a picture of a Ferrari on the screen or a big house. Well, don't poo-poo that, because what they're trying to tell you is that if you don't have a real reason to do the extra, it's not going to happen for you. You need to have that dream. Now, we happen to have something different. We have some health issues in our family, so that was a big reason for me to we have some long-term care goals that we have to deal with. But, that was a big, powerful thing for me. And that may be a little unfair because, I don't wish that on anyone, but you need something that powerful to make you put that extra time in. Otherwise, you're just going to sit down and watch the ball game. So we talk about read the fine print. So now the last thing I want you to do is ask tons of questions. Don't be rude. Don't think you know it all, because the person presenting to you probably knows that product a heck of a lot better than you do. But you ask, what does the company do in annual sales? Are they a $2 million company or a $100 million company or a $1 billion company? Many network marketing companies are $1 billion companies, right? Now, one of the things that I do guard against is be careful. If a company has a lot of business outside of the United States, that means there's a certain point of saturation. If you've heard of the company or used the products already, just be careful that that's not a company you could build on. Very, very stable, but a slower build because of saturation, right? The next thing is, how much money did that person make last year that's sponsoring you, right? Or the person that brought them in. If somebody got in yesterday, that's an unfair question to ask. But find some people that, not the people on television or not the people on the website, but the people that are into your direct organization that you're going to be able to touch, feel, shake hands with, that have reached a substantial amount of income. But also ask them less their expenses, right? So if somebody made $10,000 last year and had to spend $12,000 in traveling, well, then they really didn't make any money. So you want to know that what did they make for their income and the bonuses, the car bonus and this and that, and then minus the expenses. And then what percentage of the sales does that company make to distributors, and how much are making it to customers? You want to find a higher ratio. There's always going to be more people, and it's hard. Some people don't have this data. I made sure I got this data, but make sure that there's people. The distributors are all going to buy the product. Hopefully they love the product that they're selling. But do they have a large customer base as well? That was one of the things that was really important to me. Then I know people that are not in it are still want to buy the product. And then ask them how much did they spend, on the training or buying products or sales materials or brochures or whatever else you need to do business, right? I think that the most you should spend is business cards, and then you could borrow some of the promotional materials, not the giveaway stuff, but the stuff that the table stands. If you're going to do any kind of an event or a trade show, you should be able to borrow some of that stuff. And when you get big and you're making serious money, well, then you can invest in some of those tools. And how much time did they spend on the business last year? Really, honestly, how much time a day do they put into the business, and how many people have they personally recruited? How many people did they personally bring into business that generated we have thousands of people in our organization, but we only personally brought in about 50 people, and that turned it to thousands. So that ratio is important because it's duplicatable. If you want to build those thousands and thousands of people across the country, most of who I've never even met, we do have a relationship through social media, but how that will give you an idea of what it takes. Now, you do want to find people who are successful in the business. You want to, I can say, if you can't change people, right? You need to know that you need to surround yourself with people who are successful in life, in anything, not just in direct sales, but you want to surround yourself with as many successful people as you possibly can. It raises your game, and that's critical. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you listening. And look, if you want to send me an email, I'm not a high pressure guy. I'm not going to try to put you into my opportunity. But if you really have honest questions about network marketing, I'm not going to trash the company that you're looking at. I'm just going to tell you objectively what to look at. I'm a trainer at heart. I know that things are going to change, right? If I was a salesman back in the day selling the Walkman, I know I'd be out of a job right now. So things change, companies change, products change. The hula hoop is not really the most popular, other than going to Hooters. I don't think you're going to see a hula hoop that much anymore. So understand that it's good to be neutral. I will express to you, why I made the decisions that I made. I could also offer you advice. If you're in network marketing and you just want to chat a little bit, send me an email. And if it gets pretty involved, we can also do a one-on-one phone call. I do phone consulting. I don't charge. It's just a matter of building a network across the country of like-minded people, and that's what's important. So you can email me at otchghgel@gmail.com. You can find us at Facebook at The Ultimate Life Hack or Twitter at hghgel. To watch a video presentation about what I do, you're more than happy to go to tcpros.co/lowercase j and then capital SLCE. That's just a short way to get to a video presentation. So thank you so much for tuning in. Feel free to reach out and say hi.